I'm speaking with Ryan Synnot, Head of Investment Management at Arrow Private Wealth. Ryan, first of all, thank you very much for participating in the Inside Networks Income and Defensive Assets Symposium.
Thanks for having me, James.
Great pleasure having you here. Could you tell us a little about Arrow Private Wealth and the types of portfolios you build?
Yeah, sure. So Arrow Private Wealth is a boutique advisory firm catered for high net worth and ultra high net worth families and individuals. We construct multi-asset portfolios, so allocating across a wide range of asset classes, and we look to leverage a managed account structure to deliver that for our clients.
How has your definition of defensive assets evolved in the current market environment, and how are you applying that changed definition to building the portfolios?
Yeah, so the way that we look at it, it's not necessarily something is either considered growth or defensive. We like to consider, it's sort of along a scale. Like you can have, out and out defensive investments such as cash, but then, you can have really, push up the risk spectrum a bit into, some opportunistic credit. So we really like to look at it as a scale and then sort of determine, where does that fit into the portfolio and what are the overall risk factors that the portfolio as a whole is exposed to.
So what is your core investment philosophy for building portfolios that are going to remain resilient through changing macro and geopolitical conditions and the volatility such as we've seen in the last couple of years?
Yeah, so I think we're in a fortunate position where a lot of our clients sort of already have an established asset base and are looking to sort of preserve that asset base into the future. So often they have more wealth and capital than they're probably going to need within their own personal lifetime. So that allows us to sort of reach beyond your traditional asset classes. So we can trade off, they won't need access to 100% of their portfolio. So we can trade off some of that liquidity and look to access more alternative investments that really seek to deliver a more uncorrelated return profile, which allows a portfolio to, perform through a wider range of environments and lowering that overall level of volatility.
How do you explain the role of defensive allocations to clients who may be more focused on returns than on downside protection?
Yeah, so we use a bucketing approach. We sort of look to invest in 3 different time horizons. We have sort of a 12-month horizon, a 3-year horizon, and then a 3+ year horizon. And it's important to define what the role is for each of those buckets in the portfolio, and that really allows the client to sort of focus on, okay, this part of the portfolio is doing what it's supposed to, and we can focus on the growth side of the portfolio and delivering longer term returns there. I find mentally it helps our clients sort of know that they have a portion of their portfolio that's relatively defensive, not going to move a lot in capital value, and that allows them just to sort of sleep a bit easier at night.
Have you adjusted your allocations to cash, credit quality or duration recently as part of your defensive strategy?
We have. So more recently, we've been building out the duration exposure within our clients' portfolios. We're of the view that the outlook for duration is probably much better today than what it was a number of years ago. So that's a part of the portfolio that we've been increasing exposure to with the likelihood that many central banks globally are pursuing that easing policy, the yield curve sort of beginning to point in the right direction. And I think duration has more of a role to play in portfolios moving forward.
Ryan Synnot from Arrow Private Wealth, been a great pleasure having you with us.
Thanks, James.